welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. So for those of you that tuned into my show for years and years and years, you know I took a little bit of a break earlier this year. This is 2025 and I am back. Life was lifing, as they say, and just very demanding schedule. And, you just have to set some priorities. So if you recall, or if you're new, this is the first show that you've seen, I actually follow a plant-based, at least mostly plant-based, vegan lifestyle. And I say lifestyle because it's not a diet, it's not a fad. I've actually been on this, I'm coming up on 1 year. And it's been amazing in terms of just improvements in my health and just in every aspect of life, all of my vitals, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So if you're new, I bring, healthy, delicious, and simple recipes. And I came across this recipe and I was like, oh my God, this is such a good one. This is a wonderful one to share with the show. And this is basically a veggie pot pie. And so we're gonna dive right in. I do have the oven preheated already at 425. And what will happen after you watch the show, if you look in the comments, you will see all of the ingredients. You'll see the quantities. You'll see all of that there, okay? So what I try to do to make it a little faster is I just get to work and then tell you what to add when, and then you can look in the comments for all the specific measurements. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start, this is just mixed vegetables, like your peas, your string beans, carrots, and corn. And you just want a nice casserole dish, right? Like this is a perfect casserole dish right here. So I've washed my hands, so don't worry. So we're gonna put that in so that we can have some protein. These are cannellini beans, and it's just a nice way to kind of add something that mixes right in with it. To that, we're actually going to add, I'm going to add a few things. So let's put in, these are all of our spices. So you're going to see them in the comments, but it's salt, it's pepper, it's sage, it's thyme, it's onion powder, it's garlic powder. So all of that mixed together. And so we're just going to kind of spread it like that. And we're going to stir this up, okay? And this is nutritional yeast. Again, since I don't use cheese, this is just a great way to get some extra nutrients, but it also adds kind of like that creaminess to it. And this might be a surprise. This is actually a can of coconut milk. They even have kind of some of the ones that have less fat. And so we're going to use that, and that's going to help bring this all together. And then before I mix in the last of the, this is vegetable broth, I'm going to actually mix together cornstarch. So we're going to put this in here. It's really just kind of like 5 tablespoons of cornstarch with 5 tablespoons of vegetable broth. And so we're going to just mix that together. And of course, most people would know and they would say, oh, you've made a roux, right? So this is what acts as the thickener. It's going to bring it all together, okay? So it'll have that. So we're going to just pour that on there. And then we're going to add the last of the vegetable broth. Now, if I love actually making my own vegetable broth, I highly recommend that you do that. Save money. Plus, it's a nice way to do something with the ends of your celery or carrots. I just take them, onions, peppers, I take off the ends, wash it thoroughly, and I keep it in a freezer bag named broth. And every time I'm making salads or something, I'll take those extra pieces, put it in there. And when I have a big gallon-sized bag full, I put it in my crock pot with water, and I let it cook all day, and it's wonderful. I usually add some Italian seasonings to it, and then I also add like some salt, pepper, so you can, do what you want there. And it also helps you to control the sodium, because so many of the vegetable broths have, or any of those broths, they have so much sodium. So this way you can It's just a wonderful way for you to both use scraps and like no waste, and then at the same time controlling, you know, what goes in your vegetable broth, right? Homemade vegetable broth. So see how simple that is? I just wanted to make sure that all of the spices were mixed around nicely. Of course, some of my vegetables are still frozen, which that stands to reason. And then all we're going to do, as simple as that was, we are going to put a puff pastry on top. So I've kind of measured this out a little bit. We're gonna put it right on top like so. And then I'm going to kind of roll it in. And then we're gonna slice, you know, put a few slices in here. And I'm gonna turn the ends in, okay? Because first of all, we don't wanna waste anything. I'm not about waste, as you can tell, just in terms of me making my own vegetable broth. So just kind of turn that in, right on the edges like that. You can kind of make your own little crust on the sides in that way. Okay. So simple. Now, some people like doing an egg wash. Well, obviously I'm not going to do an egg wash because I don't eat eggs. So just make it your own. If you want to do an egg wash, you want to make it look more decorative. To me, it tastes just as good without the egg wash. I don't really need, it'll be golden enough for me. All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do like a little slice, one slice this way, a slice, and I'll hold this up so you can kind of get just a view of it, okay? Totally up to you, nothing magical. So may or may not be able to see that, but just, you know, make some slices around the top. That's it. We're gonna put it in the oven. We'll come back. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna certainly let it cool a little bit because I want to taste test it in front of you, but I also don't want to burn my tongue, right? So we'll be back after we take it out of the oven. Voila! So the puff pastry is working. It looks clearly like I didn't make my slices maybe deep enough, so it still rose, but it looks like a pot pie, right? So a gigantic pot pie. I'm pretty excited about it. Now it's time to have a taste. So this was in the oven for 45 minutes on 425, and voila, it looks beautiful. So I let it sit just a little bit so it could cool somewhat. And yeah, it looks amazing. Let me get some out here. Look at that, look at that. Beautiful. It's got nice kind of juice to it. I'm loving it. All right, let's take enough out to get a little taste and not too much. And looks so good. I'm loving just the pastry and everything about it. So hope it's not too hot. I let it sit a little bit, but obviously it wasn't open. So let's give it a taste. So good. Honestly, the sage and the thyme makes it actually taste as though it's a chicken pot pie. This is beautiful. I hope you are as excited about making this as I'm going to be eating it. And again, look in the comments for the specific measurements. One thing that I'm going to tell you is everyone's oven is different. While 425 at 45 minutes worked for me, what I would tell you is, you know, try to check the pastry. The other part of it is, even though it's rising, it needs to make sure it's cooked well on the inside. So try to keep it at least for 45 minutes. Obviously, you don't want this burning. I would also not put it on the low racks in your oven, like mid to high racks. So enjoy, enjoy. I'm going to do the same. I hope you enjoyed this episode. More to come. Chef Shelley. Simple, delicious, and healthier recipes for people on the go. If you haven't subscribed, click my little picture, and I'm back. So See you soon. Bye-bye.